What's going on, my WeldTube family, and welcome back. My name's Samar Aguilo. I'm going to show y'all a 3G open route using the MIG welding process, downhill route with the MIG, filling cap uphill with MIG as well, all right? I know I'm ready to burn. Are you? Come on, let's get to it. All right, guys, got everything set up on the 3G position. I'm running with a 532 gap, 332 landing, okay? You can use a 1/8 landing as well, but I like a 332. Tack it on each ends, okay? The wire that I'm using is 035 hard wire ESOB wire, okay? The machine that I'm using, set up on MIG, it's gonna be the 22A, Miller 22A 24V wire feeder, okay? Make sure your stick out on your wire, on your gun, is about 1/4 inch to 1/8, okay? Don't be having the wire like this when you're about to run this route pass. Always start off with the short stick out. About right there, okay? 1/4 inch to 1/8. Now the movement that I'm doing, when I run downhill, my angle's not gonna be like this. It's gonna be angled up, about 45, just like this. My rod, the wire, is going side to side, just like this. You could drag it too if you have that right movement. You gotta be on the leading edge of the puddle the whole time. Watch that puddle. Don't let the puddle lead you, you lead the puddle. So go ahead, you can go side to side like this, or you can drag. When I start welding, you're gonna see me go side to side here, but when I go towards the end, the gap is gonna start to get smaller a little bit. It happens, okay? It happens. So that's when I can start dragging it down, okay? You can do both, all personal preference. Also, you can walk it down too if you want, just like this. There's different preferences, but right now I'm gonna show you the freehand technique, all right? So again, 035 wire, make sure your nozzle is always clean. Make sure there's no debris or anything like that, slag or anything inside of there, okay? Make sure we're running with 75-25 gas, all right? And the heat that I'm running at is at 17.5 volts, okay? And here it doesn't have, the setting, so you can put it about 185, 195, but here's on 2.5. About 2 3/4, 2.5, just 2.5. Okay? But if it was another machine, another Miller with a digital, it will be 17.5 volts, and the amps will be, the wire speed will be 195, okay? 195 to 185, all right? Remember, volts 17.5, wire speed about 185 to 195 on 3/8 plate. This is 3/8 plate, okay? And other than that, that's it. Let's get to it, guys. I'm gonna show you the route pass. All right, guys, we're starting the route pass. Again, 532 gap, 332 landing, using 035 hardwire ESOB wire, okay? Make sure to have the angle on your gun and stay in the leading edge of the puddle at all times. Leading edge. Do not exceed it, because if you exceed it, you're going to start getting whiskers and the wire is going to blow through the gap, all right? Make sure to stay right there. Let the puddle follow you all the time. Like I said, I go side to side on the route when I'm coming down. Once I get towards the middle, I should just start dragging it, because again, the gap starts to shrink. So right now, switch to dragging. See that? Same thing goes to pipe as well. When doing a rollout, sometimes you can go side to side, sometimes you can just drag it depending on your angle, Remember, where I'm running at 17.5 or 18.0 on the volts and 195 to 200 on the wire speed. That's my personal preference. If it's gonna be the machine that we got, it can be set up on 2.5 to 2 3/4, okay? Come all the way down, hit the tack, pop off. That's the route. And this is the back side of the route. Got that good snake skin in there. All right, now guys, this is the way I run the hot pass. Side to side, hitting the walls, letting it build. Now on the hot pass, I'm running at 19.0 on the volts, and the wire speed around the same, about 195 to 200. It's more hotter, so it can build up quicker, so it can flush out quicker, so I can cap it quicker. Here we go. Side to side. Now, You can go side to side like I'm doing here, letting it build, taking your time. You want to make sure that the wire coming out of there and the way it's burning, it sounds like fried bacon, okay? If it's not sound like that, then you either got to turn your wire speed down or turn down, turn up your volts or, stuff like that. You got to make sure it's sounding smooth, consistent on the wire. And like a sizzling sound. That's a good sound. Now I'm going side to side. Now here I'm doing triangles. You can also do triangles as well. Going across, up, down, cross, up, down. There's different ways to run a hot pass as far as filling it up like that. Different movements. You can do U's. You see how I'm doing U's? There's just different ways, guys. Side to side, U's, triangles. They all work the same and they will all look the same and give you that good bead. Side to side, guys. But I like going side to side, Just fill it up. Take your time. There's no rush, okay? There's no rush. Take your time. Let it build. Let it build the way you want it to, and you will be fine. I usually do a root pass, and on the hot pass, especially on a 3/8 plate, hot, right after the hot pass, it should be flushed out. And when you're going to be flushed out, make sure it's about a 1/16 below flush. Don't let it be over flush, because when you cap, it's going to be excessive on the cap. All right? Excessive reinforcement on the cap. Side to side, guys. Side to side. Triangles too. Just mixing it up in there so you can get a good taste on these three. Don't let anybody tell you there's only one way of welding, guys. There's different ways. Like I said, side to side, triangle, U's. It doesn't matter. It will still burn the same. You gotta open up your boundaries just a little bit. Run it all the way up and try not to stop, guys. Try not to stop. Try to go all the way up. Try to get comfortable the way I tacked it up. Got that 45 right there. Got my elbow on there, and I ran it all the way up without stopping. It's gonna take forever, but you won't have no tie-ins, so that's a good thing. Shout outs to Bucky's one time. Love that store. There you go, all the way. Boom. Now I'm nice and flush, nice and tight. Did triangles, U's, zigzags, but they all looks the same. Now I'm gonna cap it, okay? Now before you cap, I would recommend, me personally, is to let the plate cool down. Get a fan, let it cool down real good, okay? Remember, this is 3/8 plate. You don't want to go all the way because you're gonna start getting undercut and everything like that. So let it cool down, and you'll be fine. About 10-15 minutes, let it cool down. I'm going side to side again. Now, when I cap it, I make sure that I'm going a 1/16 over the bevel. That's it. My wire does not go over the bevel. That makes sense. It stays right in the inside of the bevel, and I let the puddle overlap that bevel a 1/16 on its own, okay? Just go side to side, pause on each wall. Don't spend too much time in the middle, because then it's gonna be heavy on the middle side. Spend time on them sides, on those walls. You see how I'm placed? Right on the 45, that's the way I hold my gun. There's different ways of holding guns too, guys, but this is the way I hold my MIG gun. I always want to keep that nozzle clean as well. That's important. Keep the nozzle clean, okay? Because you get a lot of spatter. Make sure you wire wheel after each pass to get all that silicone out of there, because if you keep that silicone that's coming out of that wire, after each pass, it's just gonna pop. Everything's just gonna pop, okay? Make sure not to have the nozzle too close to the metal, because then your nozzle's gonna stick onto the metal and it's gonna cause trash. It's gonna just leave it ugly. So just make sure to have that all in your mind at the same time when you're welding this on this MIG welding process, especially on this running uphill. Like I said, it's most common in technical schools, welding schools. When they start off with MIG, they run beads, you know, and then they run T-joints, and then they go to plate. So hopefully a lot of guys will, you know, and girls as well, will look at this, and this will help you out. This is the way I run it. You know, maybe other schools run it differently, but this is the way I do it. It's faster, it's easier, and yeah. Keep running it side to side. Try not to stop. 16th over the bevel all the time. Don't have no overlap, and you'll be fine. Nice and consistent. All right. That's the cap. Not perfect by no means, but it's in there and it will hold for sure. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and bend the strips. Okay, so I can show y'all that, you know, the way I do it, it'll pass. You know, I gotta prove it to y'all. What's up, guys? So I'm going ahead and cut the strips out. We're gonna bend the root and the cap. Now, maybe other schools will teach you how to do stringers. You know, maybe on the cap you'll do stringers and everything like that. But you know, I'll do a video on stringer versus weaves another time. But you know, if you weave it like this, it should be fine, guys. That's the cap. That's the root. Grind it nice and clean. I'm gonna see what it does. So. All right, here we go. Bending it. All the way. So far it looks clean, but y'all get a better view right now. Like I said, guys, you know, I'm teaching y'all my way and what we implement here at South Coast Welding Academy. It's the right way, you know. It'll pass for sure. That's the root. It went all good, nice and clean. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and bend the cap. Let's see what it does. No, even till this day, guys, you know, once I bend my own strips and I know they'll pass, I still get that little heart race that you never know what's gonna happen on that bend test. You just never know. You can be confident, and you just never know, guys. Just the way it is. Like I said, not perfect by no means, but I get the job done. Cap came out nice and clean. See that? No cracks whatsoever. Nice and clean. I'm giving you another little shot right here. Hope y'all have a good one, guys. Thank y'all. All right, guys, there you have it. 3G open root using MIG welding process. Remember, downhill root, filling cap, uphill. Hope y'all learned something out of this today. And remember, burn, learn, and eventually y'all gonna earn. Y'all have a good one.